So good evening students. In this lecture we are going to start our second paper of electrodynamics. So in the first video I will be covering the laws of electromagnetism. We will be introducing the Maxwell's equation. We will then introducing the concept of displacement current, and we will be telling you what is electromagnetic radiation all about. So first of all, what is electromagnetic spectrum? So the radiation emitted by sun consists of whole range of wavelength of light, which ranges from radio waves to gamma rays, which has a wavelength of about 10 to the power 2 meters to 10 to the power minus 12 meters, or in frequency from 1 hertz to 10 to the power 21 hertz, say. So in that sense we can say of which very small portion of light we can see. So that is about only 4000 to 10,000 8,000 angstrom, which is called as visible light. Apart from that, we cannot visualize the entire portion of the spectrum, and this spectrum is called as the electromagnetic spectrum. The reason for why it is called as electromagnetic spectrum will be revealed when we go into the details later. So basically we have studied four basic laws in electricity in our previous classes. So first is the Gauss law of electrostatics, which states that the flux of the electric field about a closed surface is charged by permittivity of the free space. So Gauss law of magnetism simply states that the magnetic monopoles do not exist. Flux of magnetic field is equal to 0. And Faraday's law of magnetic induction states that line integral of electric field is equals to change in magnetic flux, rate of change of magnetic flux. So the negative sign is due to the Lenz law, and the Ampere's law, the line integral of this was the Ampere law, that line integral of magnetic field is mu 0 I, where I is equals to is your current. So this was my Gauss law. So this is Gauss law in electrostatics, and second one is called as the Gauss law in magnetostatics. So when we call as Gauss law in electrostatics, it's simply the flux of the electric field vector then over a closed surface, that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So this this is due to the fact that the single charge do exist. But in case of the magnetic field, we find that flux of magnetic field is equal to 0. Why to 0? Because there are no magnetic monopoles. Magnets exist only in dipole. There is a north pole, there is a south pole. Howsoever you divide a magnet into tiny pieces, you will always be finding a north pole and a south pole. You cannot simply get a separate north pole and a separate south pole, howsoever tiny the size of the magnet may be. So next are the induction laws. So if you vary the magnetic field, you get a changing magnetic field give rise to an electric field, which is called as the induced electric field. So for that, if you take the line integral of electric field, it will give you the rate of change of flux. The negative sign indicates that the induced electric field will oppose the very change in magnetic field which is responsible for its change. This is called as Lenz law. But is the reverse true? The Ampere's law is a BDL, that is line integral of magnetic field. This is line integral of magnetic field is equals to mu 0 I. So this was earlier called as mu 0 I. This is the Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law. But do it hold good? Is it correct explanation? Now let us see a particular case. When we derive the Ampere's circuital law, we assume that the current is constant. But what happens when the current is not constant? Suppose the current varies. If the loop encloses one plate of the capacitor, then I is equals to current will become 0. But the current is not 0 as the current is varying. So as the electric field is varying there. Inside the capacitor, there will be an induced magnetic field. because electric field is changing, so magnetic field is also be there. And a changing electric field will induce a magnetic field will be there. So we will find this is equals to mu 0 epsilon naught d phi e by dt. This term epsilon naught d phi e by dt is called as displacement current. So when this term is added, we get the entire corrected equation, correction term. This Maxwell's revisions of Ampere's law become, so this is line integral of magnetic field is equals to mu 0 I plus epsilon naught mu naught d phi e by dt. This is the line rate of change of electric flux. तो ये तो rate of line integral है magnetic field का is equals to mu 0 I plus how this term will tell you how the rate of change of electric flux is impacting my magnetic field. So if you try to derive this displacement term for a simple capacitor, you know that Q is equals to epsilon 0 EA. You can write simply as for a capacitor. Okay, this is A, where A is the area of the plates and E is the electric field and epsilon naught is your permittivity. So if I differentiate it with respect to time, then I is equals to dq by dt. You take epsilon naught which is constant outside, ये तो constant है, तो EA is nothing but the electric flux. Okay, so I is equals to epsilon naught d phi e by dt. This is called as the displacement current. So when you add this term to my previous Ampere's law, I get the corrected Ampere's law. So my 4 Maxwell equation will be, this is my 4th Maxwell equation. First Maxwell equation is my Gauss law of electrostatics. Second Maxwell equation is my Gauss law in magnetostatics. Third Maxwell equation is my law of electromagnetic induction. And fourth Maxwell equation is the corrected Ampere's law. This is my corrected Ampere's law. So you find these 4 Maxwell's equation. First one is Gauss law of electrostatics. Your EDA surface integral of electric field is equals to Q by epsilon naught. Second one is the Gauss law in magnetostatics. BDA is equals to 0. Third is Faraday's law of electromagnetic Faraday's law of induction. EDL is equals to minus line integral of electric field minus d phi b by dt, and this is the Ampere's law. These 4 equations taken together are called as the Maxwell's equation. These are its integral form. So there are 2 forms of this Maxwell's equation. One is the integral form and another is the differential form. So this is the integral form of the Maxwell's equation. So this when there are no charges, no currents, if there are no charges and no currents present, simply put Q is equals to 0, Q is equals to 0 रख दीजिए, I is equals to 0 रख दीजिए, then you get these results. So this is my special case when we have Q is equals to 0 and I is equals to 0. That means no charges, no currents, and in vacuum. What will be my Maxwell's equation? So this will be Maxwell equation, you can easily see. So this is a special case of Maxwell's equation. In integral form, we have 4 Maxwell's equation, that rate of change of surface integral of electric field is 0, surface integral of magnetic field is 0, line integral of electric field is minus d phi b by dt, and line integral of magnetic field is mu naught epsilon naught d phi e by dt. So ये हमारे पास 4 Maxwell equation आएंगी for special case of no charges and no masses, no currents. No charges, no currents के लिए ये इक्वेशन है. Faraday's law basically gives that rate of change of magnetic field, Faraday's law क्या बोलेगा? Rate of change of magnetic field give rise to electric field, and Maxwell's modification of Ampere's law will tell us the rate when electric field changes, magnetic field will be generated. So these third and fourth Maxwell's equation, that is Faraday's law and Maxwell's modification of Ampere's law, can be generated, can be solved simultaneously. Actually, this will be more evident when we see its differential form, which I will be dealing in the next class. So differential form हम next class में देखेंगे, अभी हम integral form ही देख रहे हैं. So these two equation को हम simultaneously solve करेंगे तो हमें इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की ये दो इक्वेशन मिलेंगी. सो E is equals to EXT EP sin kx minus omega t j unit vector, and BXT is equals to BP sin kx minus omega t z unit vector. So you can see that there is a kind of wavy nature, sinusoidal nature of variation of both electric and magnetic fields. The electric field is directed along the y-axis, magnetic field is directed along the z-axis, while the propagation of these waves is directed along the x-axis. So if you this is a kind of, so electric field is a so E is equals to EY ext j unit vector and P is equals to bzxt k unit vector. It's like a plane wave solution we are getting. So this is the they satisfy the plane wave equation. This whatever we have got the solution earlier of the Maxwell equation, they satisfy the plane wave equation. Both electric field and magnetic field, they satisfy the same plane wave equation. So as a result, these are called as combination. So electric and magnetic fields are varying as waves. So this term is called, these waves are generated as a result of variation in electric and magnetic fields. तो इनको हम नाम देते हैं because they are generated in due to variations in electric and magnetic fields, they are called as electromagnetic waves. So they follow the Fleming's left-hand rule generally. So if my electric field is along the y-axis, my magnetic field is along z-axis, then my wave propagation will be along x-axis. So it will be following my Fleming's left-hand rule, you can say. So basically it will be following a right-handed coordinate system. So this was the basic introduction of electromagnetic waves. In next class we will be discussing more about differential form of these equations. We will be discussing some special cases, other cases, and we will be taking on to the Poynting theorem. Thank you very much.